and welcome to Getting to Good Enough, a podcast to help you let go of perfectionism so you can do more of what you love. I'm Shannon Wilkinson, a life coach in Portland, Oregon. I'm a recovering perfectionist who's getting better at good enough.
And I'm Janine Adams, a certified professional organizer in St. Louis, Missouri, and I'm lucky enough to be naturally good at good enough.
And today we are talking about making thoughtful choices. Hey Janine.
Hey Shannon, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great too. I was just thinking when I said I was a certified professional organizer, I just recertified, which I have to do every 3 years. And
wow.
I'm feeling very good because they randomly audit people who are recertifying, and I won the lottery on that one, so I got audited, and I passed. Yay! I mean, I knew I was being honest and everything, but still, you worry. And I thought, oh no, if I don't get recertified, I'm gonna have to stop saying I'm a certified professional organizer. The beginning of the podcast, that would be terrible.
Oh no!
So we're good for another 3 years.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Phew. I didn't realize you had to do it so often.
Yeah, we just have to get 45 continuing education units for the 3-year period, so 15 a year, which is not hard, except, of course, I procrastinate, and so I got a whole lot in the last year. And specifically in the last 3 months.
Yeah. When you were like, uh-oh.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, it was all good. Anyway, I just thought of that as I was saying that.
Oh, well, I bet you had to make a lot of choices when deciding what you were going to do for your continuing education credits.
I did. There were so many options, and I made a lot of really good choices, I think.
Oh, good. Good. Well, we came up with this idea because my husband and I just went through an exercise of deciding whether or not to buy a new car in the last couple of weeks, and it was an interesting process. And I realized that it would be useful to sort of talk through the steps we went through to make a thoughtful choice. And by the way, we ultimately decided not to buy a car. I mean, we were all hot to buy a car, and then we decided not to.
Then that says it's a very powerful process because...
Yeah, especially because we're both really happy about that decision.
Oh, yeah, very good. And, it's exciting, I think, to buy a new car. So the fact that you were able to make a thoughtful choice in the face of potential... I mean, it wasn't disappointing, but still you have to talk yourself down. Well, at least I do when I get excited about something. So I can't wait to hear about it because my husband and I can't make a choice about what light bulbs to buy. So I think I'm all ears.
Well, the basis of it is recognizing what it is that you really want. Like what I think of it as a lot of times, like, what problem am I trying to solve? Or what am I trying to gain? And looking at it from both those perspectives is very helpful. And I do this all the time with, whether I'm going to sign up for a course or hire a coach, or if we're going to do something around the house. It's basically any time I'm going to spend resources, time, money, or energy, I think through things this way.
Can you please repeat those two questions that you asked yourself?
What problem am I trying to solve? Mm-hmm. And what do I want? Or what am I trying to achieve?
Excellent. I just needed to press save on them so I could filter everything you say with that. That's so powerful because I would think it's just a way, it's like shining a flashlight. It's a way to get past the paralysis that sometimes comes when you get, at least when I get gripped by indecision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And so sort of figuring that out, and my husband and I had a disagreement about getting a car because we were both trying to solve different problems. Oh. Well, I was trying to solve a problem and he was trying to achieve something that he wanted.
And they were at cross purposes, I guess.
Yes. And this decision was sort of complicated because there were sort of three parts to it. One is that we have two kids of driving age. One bought herself a car when she was 15. Like, that's how on top of things she is.
Right.
But she is at college now and she doesn't have her car. And so she's letting her little brother drive the car. But she's going to be back for the summer and then she's going to return to college and she's going to want to take her car. And then he's going to be without a car his senior year, which he does not want. And then we have an older car that is the car that Mike usually drives. And so what we were thinking is that we would sell that car to one of the kids and, like we'd get them sorted with their two cars and then we get ourselves a new car. And I thought we were trying to solve the problem of working things out with cars for the kids. But then I found out that Mike was trying to achieve getting a new car because he's never had a new car. Like, he's always bought used cars. And so he's never, got a new car that was his primary car to drive.
Right. Yeah, I figured that's where you were going. That he wanted a new car. Is he driving the old car that you were driving when I met you? Or did you gotten rid
no,
of that?
he's driving it's a Ford Escape Hybrid, the blue car.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the newer car we have is a Honda Pilot. It's funny, it's newer, but it's a 2015. It's not
new by any stretch.
It's not new, but it's the newer car, but he doesn't drive that because he commutes every day and it doesn't get good gas mileage. It's good for a family of 5 and friends, or, going up to the mountain for skiing or something like that, or pulling a trailer as we did this summer. But it's not a good daily commuting car.
Right, or driving your friend to Walla Walla.
Yes, or driving your friend to Walla Walla.
It's a very comfortable car, yeah. But yeah, you're going to take the hybrid when you're commuting. So, yeah.
So once we got on the same page as what problems we were trying to solve and what goals we were trying to achieve, or, what wants we were trying to meet, then it became much more clear. And it turned out that what he really wants is the electric Volkswagen Minibus that's not coming out for another year or two. So then that sort of changed things in terms of, well, if we want to solve the problem for the kids, then we might just lease a car, for example, because we want him to be able to get the minibus when it comes out. So, it just changes the calculus, so to speak, in many ways, like deciding what we're going to do. And then ultimately the kids decided that they didn't need to solve the car problem now. So Mike's still driving the Escape and knowing that he'll get the Volkswagen when it becomes available.
Oh, well, that's excellent. And so everybody's happy because you weren't keen, I guess, on buying a new car for Mike to commute in?
Well, we may still do that. Like, for example, if the kids decide that they do want to each have their own car and they're ready to sort of take that on, then we may get, sort of a less expensive commuter car for Mike, like a plug-in electric, like a Leaf or something like that, and just lease it for 2 years so that we just turn it in and we don't have to think about it again when it's time to get the car that he really wants.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. If he has that car he really wants, that he knows in a couple of years he's going to want, it would be a waste of time to spend a lot of time and money and energy to find, try to find an equivalent now for the next 2 years. Now I can't wait to go online and look at the all-electric Volkswagen Minibus.
Oh my God, they're so cute.
Yeah? Oh, good. I'm going to look
They're
at
really cute. Well, and that'll also give us time to actually build a garage so that we can plug it in. Right, yeah. We talk about wanting electric cars too, and how we have a garage where we have to get it wired differently to do that. But of course, that's doable. Oh, yeah. That's neat. So those two, and you both were in agreement that those were the two factors that were important. Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. And you can apply that to so many things.
Right. And the other thing that, this sort of adds a different, another element. And if you're someone that gets overwhelmed by choice, this is maybe not necessarily a great step to add, but I like to just at least give it a cursory look is, once we decided that we were going to spend a certain amount of money, is that really how we want to spend that money?
Okay. Right, because something like a car, well, really anything, but something like a car is such a chunk of change that could you could buy something really great with that amount of money. Yeah. So you just you pause, you press pause and say, hey, wait a minute, is this how we want to spend that X amount of money? And then if you decide you do, that's great, because you're eliminating future regret. Yep. And if you decide, well, wait a minute, we really could, stand to renovate the house instead, or whatever, build a garage or whatever is an equivalent, then it gives you that opportunity to hop off the train that's speeding toward the car dealership and decide what you want. Yeah. Oh, very interesting. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's super helpful. And like I said, I use it all the time. Like if a decision isn't obvious to me, or if I'm sort of struggling with a decision, those are the questions that I ask myself.
And it's very aligned with the question we talk about all the time on the podcast about, what is important to you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it takes
absolutely.
A little bit. Yeah, and it's not just, you don't just apply it to financial related decisions, you apply it to any decision, yeah?
Yeah. Although it seems like most of the decisions, I don't know, somehow I'm trying to think of any that don't have any financial aspect.
That are difficult.
Yeah.
It could be around, how to spend your free day. Go hiking or sit on your butt and watch
Yeah,
TV.
well, actually, we talked about that with, I remember talking about that, I can't remember what episode it was, but about choosing how to spend Thanksgiving.
Right.
Or choosing how to spend my birthday. I often do that. Like, what need am I trying to fill here, or what want am I trying to meet? Or what problem am I trying to solve? So those are definitely areas where there's not a financial component to it.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's great. And it also, strikes me that it would apply to, if we'd had this conversation 6 months ago or 8 months ago when I was having all the trouble deciding about going to Walla Walla during the COVID pandemic, and how was I going to get there? And, it all seems so obvious now that I wasn't going to fly. But for a while there, it was, in fact, maybe that is exactly what I did to decide to drive rather than fly, was what problem do we talk about?
Yeah, when I was at the questions I was asking you when we were talking about it, they were based around that.
Yeah. I have no memories, so I can't remember. But.
Yeah, so it was sort of like what's most important to you. And what what will make this a successful trip? Like, what needs to happen for it to feel successful to you?
Right. Yeah. And it was so successful. So it worked out very well. That not even, because I didn't get into an accident or anything. So the driving time was so enjoyable. It was great. But it is funny how when I think back about just the quandary I was in, of just how tied up I was in trying to make those decisions.
Yeah.
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 Oh, cool.
And sometimes making more complicated decisions like that, it does help to separate stuff out. Like, maybe separating out the travel from how you spend your time once you get there. So, you know what I mean? Like, it might be hard to make a decision on the travel because it feels like it's influencing how you get there or how much time you can spend there or whatever, Does that make sense?
Yeah, that sometimes sometimes the decision could feel overwhelming if it's big enough or has enough components, and if you can break it down a little bit.
Yeah.
To the individual components that can influence one another. Is that sort of what you mean?
Yep.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, and I could see how it could help me in, bearing those questions in mind, or in working with clients who are trying to make decisions about keeping and letting go of stuff, which sometimes is really difficult for them. When from the outside, it seems, I always think, yeah, let it go, but it's not like that always. So finding out, knowing what you're after, right? That's always a big component of it, and what you really want is very helpful. I don't think I've thought about those two questions specifically like that in my work. So that's excellent.
Yeah. Well, and I know that I did a little decluttering over the weekend, and I thought about what problem am I trying to solve here? And it wasn't just this nook is driving me insane because it's a dumping ground for everything that doesn't have a home. But it was, there was stuff that there was a mishmash of this nook that's in our dining area that has become a repository for cookbooks and bar things like alcohol and, cocktail shakers and stuff, and carafes and all this random stuff, ice buckets. There's 3 ice buckets, and what problem am I trying to solve is I want to be able to access the cookbooks, and I was having to reach over the top of all of this glassware to get to the cookbooks, which is not a good thing to do.
No, not at all. That's excellent. Yeah, so getting to the bottom of that was important, and it helped you. So what, did you move the cookbooks, or did you just
I did. I moved the cookbooks. So they got moved. So we had cookbooks in 2 areas, one area in the kitchen and then one area in this nook. And what we did is we combined all of them, went through them, got rid of a few, put another few on a different shelf in a different area, and then the ones that we use all the time are in the kitchen now and accessible, including we've used meal kits, and we hold on to some of the recipe cards because we like making those on our own. And so we have those recipe cards, and then I have and those are 8.5 by 11 ones. And then we have little, I have my little recipe cards that have recipe cards that my grandma wrote out for me, and my mom wrote out for me, and my aunt wrote out for me. And, those are sentimental in addition to being ones that I use on a regular basis.
Nice. And and those are in the kitchen?
Yeah, those used to be in that nook and hard to access.
Oh, yeah. I could see how that would be hard to access because that nook is kind of deep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's excellent. Well, that's great. And it's music to my ears, right? It sounds like you did, you did exactly what I would have suggested in terms of get those recipes together.
Right.
And then figure out where to store the ones you need to have most accessible.
Yes. And it is great. And it looks so much better. That area where the cookbooks are, is now more organized. The Nook looks beautiful. I have my grandmother's silverware, and it's in this beautiful wooden case. It's in there, and there's nothing stacked on top of it anymore, so it's easy to access should we ever want to use silver, which we do on occasion.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's good. But I use this for like a lot with work on deciding, if I'm going to take a course or, because it's easy to get sucked in by really, really good marketing. Mm-hmm. And I think, oh my God, this is exactly what I need to solve, to make Instagram easy for me or whatever.
Right.
And then I think about like, wait a minute, what problem am I really trying to solve here? Mm-hmm. And is this the thing that will get me there? And sometimes it is, a lot of times it isn't.
Right. I mean, you've made some really smart decisions around resources to help you with your business in the last year. I mean, so you're good at it. It's working for you.
Yeah.
But so you know when to say yes, and then you also know when to say no.
Yes.
And that's the key, isn't it?
Right. Yeah. Right. Well, and I have to also give a little shout out to YNAB on that, mm-hmm. because I know how much money I have to spend.
Right. That helps a lot. Yes.
Yeah.
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 I love
definitely.
Yeah. Well, that's very cool. I feel like this has been really educational, and I'm thinking about a new car in the not near future, but in the next year or so. So I suspect I'll be consulting with you for advice on how to choose one.
I would be happy to talk you through it.
All right. Thank you.
Well, we would like to hear from you, our listeners. How do you make thoughtful choices? And we'd love to hear how you put these questions in practice. You can let us know on social media at Getting to Good Enough on Instagram and Facebook, at GTG Enough on Twitter, and you can leave us a voicemail at 413-424-GTGE, that's 4843. Or you can head over to the show notes at gettingtogoodenough.com and leave a comment. But for now, this is Shannon Wilkinson in Portland, Oregon.
And Janine Adams in St. Louis, Missouri.
And we hope that good enough is getting easier for you. The decision-making process to decide what to eat before we recorded.
I didn't hear your stomach growl, so that's good.
Oh, good.